and it just never failed me after almost a decade doing recruiting. And there were weeks and there were months where I'm like, I don't know if I can make money. I don't know if I can continue doing this. I think I'm gonna give up. Put your head down and put that work in, because good work will compound. Well, what does that mean? Hello, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, this video is all about how to make money in a tough market as a recruiter. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Preston. Been running my own agency for almost 8 years, specialized in the technology industry, and made over 7 figures worth of placements to date. But before we do, please consider supporting a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. Really means a lot. So let's get started. Getting into it, how to make money in a tough market as a recruiter. So filming this right now in 2023, I know in tech and many other markets, it is challenging. Happy to say that since this year started, our team has done our best fighting for our lives every single day to still do a good number of placements, just making it happen, driving results. And I hope that I can share some of the things that we're doing with you all to see if it can help. Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This is all from my personal experience, and I'm sharing what worked for me and hope it provides you with some sort of value in some way. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, if you do things differently, that's fine. Just sharing with you what worked for me. Hope it can maybe work for you as well. And of course, just want to apologize for any spelling and grammatical errors. Just, whip these slides up real quick, thinking out loud, wanted to share it with you, and now we're shooting here. So let's get started. Number one is you have to be flexible. So as you can see, companies across the board are spending less on external partners, less on everything. So you just might have to be willing, if needed, to make a couple compromises, couple steps back, concessions to pick up business, to help your business. And this is also an advice that I help you when you first get started, because you have no credibility, you're starting your own independent career, you're starting your own agency, you have no clients, you have no track record. You have to be willing to do what you can to just get that ball rolling, to get in the game. The companies have all the power right now in terms of like how they're dictating, bringing people back into the office, but how it relates to us, what resources that they're gonna be using and spending money on in an already challenging, tough market when they don't want to spend any money. So you have to kind of come into this with a new frame of mind and a new perspective, and understand that companies are going to be a lot more difficult to engage with, especially if you're developing new ones as business development initiatives continue to roll on through the year. They will typically be loyal to the ones they're already using right now, or the ones that they used in the past. So if you really want to get yourself in there, get a slice of that pie, and start the new relationship off on the right footing, you have to be able to just be flexible in the beginning. So what does that mean? Maybe you can consider lowering your fee if you're doing direct placements. If you're doing retainers, maybe do a lower monthly retainer, maybe do a lower flat fee, maybe do a low combination of the above. Again, you have to just adapt to the times, and it really depends also on your companies. I think smaller companies have less of a budget, even in better markets, right? But if your clients are enterprise companies and they're just profitable, they're doing really well, maybe you don't have to do something. But so this is really for those that are trying to develop new book of business, to bring in new relationships. And sometimes it helps to kind of bite the bullet with a long-term plan to get a relationship started right now. You can do the best that you can, and then build yourself up a foundation, hopefully to a fruitful long-term partnership. So again, in my mind, you can agree or disagree, but in my mind, a smaller revenue is always still better than zero. So do whatever you can. I'd rather be busy and making a little bit less money than not at all and making zero. So again, let's just keep our eyes on the prize, do whatever you can, but be flexible when the conversation happens. And maybe that can tip the scales for some conversations that you're having with clients to make a decision whether or not they want to engage with you. So it's all about planting the seeds. You're planting the seeds now. A lot of them are just not going to convert, but some of them will. And the ones that will could just be amazing, could be your best cash cow client, or could be ones that help you push through tough times, especially now. Next, referrals. So asking for introduction or referrals from a past client is 100% easier than getting new business. And this is something that I completely believe in. Yes, it's very important to bring new relationships, new business into your agency, for your team to stay busy, for you to stay busy. But at the same time, it's so easy to kind of have that mindset where you just have to always focus on new, and all the placements that you've done, you just forget about them. Like, what sort of nurturing are you doing? What sort of follow-ups are you doing? Are you actually meeting them in person, developing stronger relationships? Because if you do that, some of your past clients not only might be hiring and you just have no idea because you're not following up with them, but some of them also might know other founders who are hiring. Typically, hiring managers and founders They're very active in their community, especially with founders. They're very active with other founder entrepreneur communities, and they probably know many other founders, many other serial entrepreneurs, first-time entrepreneurs that are hiring, that are just not happy with the current tools or partners they're working with. This is the perfect opportunity for you, especially if you have a good relationship with a past client, to just ask them, hey, do you know of anyone that I can help? Because you obviously love working with me. I can do the same thing with you. So my first thing off the bat is make sure you start thinking about it proactively, go back to your previous clients and see if there's any other introductions that they can do. Speaking of introductions, if you are using LinkedIn, for example, if you're doing research for new business development, new clients, you see a shared connection with that potential new client, with your current or past client, why would you not ask your previous past client to make an introduction to you? A warm lead is always better than a cold lead. And so again, that's something that I would recommend. Maybe another thing you can think about is implement referral or like maybe incentive programs. So a lot of times, if you have a really good relationship with the client, if you ask them, hey, can you make an intro? Many of them will do that, but many of them won't. So what can you do to kind of grease the wheels, if you will, give them a little slight nudge? Maybe you can do some sort of referral or incentive program. What does that mean? In my mind, I'm thinking about, okay, maybe your current clients that you helped with in the past, to help introduce you to new clients, or maybe for candidates to also help introduce you to other candidates, or maybe to new clients as well. Maybe you can even kind of agree to lower the fee for new or continuing placements with your current client to kind of sweeten the deal for them to be able to share more openly about with their network of who wants to work with you or who needs help to work with you. Just be creative here, think outside the box. But basically, your client can know possibly one to many others that could possibly need and use your help right now. And there's no better way to bring in new business when you have someone else vouching for you. And so you have that immediate credibility, you have that immediate validation. And that is my favorite way of continuing to make sure that I have really great business coming in, is we do whatever we can. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but we do whatever we can to solidify, to strengthen our relationships, to check in, to follow up frequently, to see if our clients, even if they might not need help with hiring, they might know of others that would. So tip number 2 is make sure you think long and hard about referrals and how you can really capitalize on that. The next thing is speed. And if you've been watching me for a long time, you know I'm a huge proponent of speed. That is a small thing that you can fix right now to have a significant edge over many other recruiters or agencies out there. Right now, 2023, interest rates, recession here in the US, like it's just nuts. Layoffs, competition for talent, and for new clients have reached a new level of, simply put, insanity. It's absolutely chaotic, absolutely manic. It's just jaw-dropping on what I constantly see every single day, the difficulty that even I have, my team has to put into develop new relationships, to be able to navigate challenging situations with candidates really have reached a new level. And I've been doing this a long time, but compared to others, I've been doing this not for a short time. There are many other recruiters out there who've been doing recruiting for multiple decades, but they can still attest the same thing, that right now what we're working on is very unique, unfortunately in the more challenging way. So for me, speed is something that you have to take very seriously, or something that I think can help your business right now to kind of push the needle. That means that if you find a new candidate, right, and they'll be most likely in process with other companies, with other recruiters. If you find a new client, chances are they're already having a really healthy pipeline from their internal organic, from the career pages or their internal talent acquisition team, or they're using many other external partners like you. Chances are, if a company is engaging with you in a non-exclusive fashion for a direct hire external support, most likely they'll be doing that with many others, because it's just the nature of the business model, especially if you're not asking for a monthly retainer or anything up front. It's just smart. If I was a founder of a startup, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be using as many tools and resources as possible to really pack my pipeline. So you have to understand and see things from your client's point of view, that they're just doing what's smart business, right? And you should be doing the same thing, and you should be able to understand to that extent. But what does that mean for you as the recruiter for agencies? You have to do your best to condense everything. When I say condense the timeline, right? The time that you talk to clients, time that you talk to candidates, be more optimized. It's not only just the time you talk to them, it's like how often do you talk to them? Can you talk to more per day? Condense the interview processes so you can increase probability of like the candidates going through from A to Z as fast as possible, to then increase the probability of them reaching a final, and then subsequently an offer. Like anywhere that you can condense the timeline to follow up, to get a response, to submit candidates, to get negotiations and feedbacks and process calls, like you want to be able to audit every single thing and see if you can save a couple minutes here, a couple days here, because the more you can do that, that's how I was able to go from reaching out to candidates to placing them within a week or less, right? Again, not all my placements are that fast, but I do whatever I can to kind of subsequently condense it, because the faster I can find candidates and get them through the process, the more competitive that they will be compared to other candidates with competing platforms and recruiters and their internal team, and it increases my team's chance of finding a candidate that we can push through, hopefully a team likes, we can move fast on the offer, and then shut down and close that process. So speed is very, very important. The next thing is maybe you want to pivot, right? So are you noticing like a spike of a new position, certain types of positions in your market that companies are hiring for? Are you confident or comfortable to be able to effectively recruit for them? Again, if you've been watching me for a long time, I'm not, nor do I encourage you to do every position underneath the sun. It's very important, in my opinion, to be very hyper-focused for so many different reasons. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you watch previous videos. But if you see, for example, some positions popping up and you have either a strong understanding, relationships, network, experience in that market, and you think maybe it might make sense to pivot your entire business or to allocate a small amount of your free time to that, it could make sense, right? Again, be cautious in proceeding, because if you start doing all these different types of positions, then you're not really doing the best for your candidates. Because, for example, if you picked up a new electrical engineering and you're just specialized in software, all the electrical engineering candidates that come in, you can't really present them any other jobs, right? The only thing maybe you could do is use them to get new business for example, electrical engineers. But if your whole database is filled of like designers or software engineers, having electrical engineering will make you do additional work. You can't really leverage your database because you might already have people in there that could already be a good fit. It's just a lot of extra work, a lot of extra thought processes. But if your business completely stopped, if it's really, really slowing down and you're like, oh my God, I'm seeing a rush of this, and you know exactly what to do, the right tools, how to exactly screen candidates effectively, and you think you can make an impact here, maybe it's something that you can think of. But instead of doing a complete pivot, I think one thing that you can also think about doing is maybe try to look for positions, right, that have some sort of connection, tangential connection that in your database already that you can kind of leverage, right, to maybe be effective in other certain types of positions. So for example, if in software engineering, you only focus on full stack, so that basically means you do both the front end and back end, and that's been your bread and butter, maybe you can focus, it makes sense for you to also focus on complete front end roles or complete back end roles, because chances are a lot of the candidates in your database could be perfect for both those types of roles, right? Same thing, if you do digital marketing, maybe you can add product marketing or growth or acquisition to the mix as well. You're not doing completely different type of role, but there are many types of companies out there that are hiring specifically for product marketing, for growth marketing managers, and they're just not looking for holistic, general digital marketing, right? So there's a lot of different types of titles, subtitles, subgenres within your kind of bread and butter kind of position that you can maybe target that you weren't necessarily targeting. So maybe a combination of these possibly could help. Resilience. It's a tough market. I get it. I'm feeling that pain right now. I feel like every day, every week, we have to fight for our lives. The biggest thing is resilience, right? There will be more reneged offers than ever, more candidates and clients ghosting than ever, clients abruptly ending a relationship, and you just have to suck it up and keep going. You have to expect this and then just keep moving forward and staying absolutely consistent. The biggest challenge here is that it's not about how well you can find clients, how well you can find candidates. It is all 100% mental. This comes with all the work and businesses of just working for yourself, right? But just to amplify on top of that, if you add really unpredictable economic struggles or headwinds, like basically layoffs and recession, interest rate, like it just compounds everything and makes things way, way, way harder and worse. So what do you do? Like just mentally, you have to really be able to kind of get yourself out of a fear mindset and a panic mindset and just focus on, are there ways to maximize value for your clients? Can you get referrals? Can you constantly do placements, right? I know it can be very stressful when you're like, oh my God, I only have one client and I only have one role and I'm trouble having new I'm trouble developing new relationship with clients. The best thing, right, that you could do there is at least finish and complete that role. It's still money in your pocket. The worst is like having one client with one role. You can't even fill that. You can't bring a new business. At least do whatever you can to maximize value on that, make some cash, ask them for introductions to other clients, to other candidates, and see what sort of other value that you can get. Try to get and always continue to work on getting new clients no matter how difficult it is. Like your value proposition, be crystal clear on that. Be crystal clear on who you are, what markets are you targeting, what candidates that you can present to develop new relationships, and recruit the best talent that you continue to get as well. Keep that pipeline strong with inbound of great talent coming in to you and your team as well. Good work. Don't forget, no matter how dire the things are, I keep telling myself good work will always compound, and it just never failed me after almost a decade doing recruiting. And there were weeks and there were months where I'm like, I don't know if I can make money. I don't know if I can continue doing this. I think I'm going to give up. You just have to keep showing up, put your head down and put that work in, because good work will compound. Well, what does that mean? Clients might stop working with you, but if you left them with a good impression, they had an overall positive experience, maybe like they just had dinner with a friend who's starting a new company who's like, I'm having trouble hiring, and they're like, you know what, you should work with Preston, right? You just never know. And the same thing can happen with candidates as well. And even though you talk to clients right now, they may not be hiring, they could remember you, and you could reach out to them into the future as well. So everything you're doing has a point to it. Nothing is ever pointless. Just know when to follow up, know when to re-engage, and just keep being consistent. And the same thing with candidates. They can also be great referrals to other candidates. They can become a client when they decide to start their own startup, or maybe they might end up re-engaging with you and they might end up being the perfect candidate you're spending months looking for. So you just never know, and just be consistent. It's all here, mental and psychological. So what I've learned is that things in recruiting can change very quickly, for worse, but also for the better. Your best success can be right around the corner. If you give up right now, you'll never be able to know that or feel that or experience it. It's really important to just have that mindset where you're being consistent, you plant that seeds, you stay in the game, and things can work out for you. What we're going through right now isn't going to be like this forever. Every down market will always bounce back, right? And so if you can be consistent in this market, you develop those right habits, the right discipline, the tough skin, when things start stabilizing, when you start getting business much easier, when the market is going through the roof, you start doing placements, it's just gonna feel like gravy. I absolutely promise you. And that is something I'm very much looking forward to, because as much as I love working in pain, man, recruiting is hard enough. I just can't wait for things to kind of slowly start being on the up and up for all of us. Last but not least, partnership is key. So as you've been seeing on my videos, splits is just an absolutely great way for independent recruiters, solo recruiters, people who run small agencies to work with each other. I feel like recruiting is extremely competitive. No one cares about the other recruiters. It's so, it's my system, my candidates versus you all. I cannot share with you my clients' names because I'm worried they're just gonna poach my client. I'm so over it. I feel like we just need to work together more, be more collaborative, because it's a win-win, I promise you, over the long term. It's more value to you, more value to your clients, and more value to the candidates. Let's work together more. Well, a good partnership can mean an extra 4, 5, 6+ figures of revenue for your business in an annual timeline. 50% of something is still better than 0% of 100% of something. If you have a client that you are struggling to find talent for, if you split with another recruiting agency, that split can help you optically also just look better for your client, because they're just seeing a lot more of a stronger inbound of great candidates from you. If you are working with a great candidate and all you have is just one position on your desk to share with them, if you do splits with another recruiter in your market, you now possibly have another 1, 2, 3, 5+ positions to share with them, also optically making you look better, giving them overall a better experience, because you're presenting them with more options, further increasing the chance of you closing them, increasing the chance of you collecting some sort of paycheck. I am always happy to partner and collaborate and split with recruiters out there. If you're in the market, if you do product and engineering, UX, design, marketing, sales, you're in tech or anything else, I would love to chat with you. Because my time is limited, I can't work with everyone. So for us, we really look for recruiters with a really great track record, right? So like you've done a certain level of revenue per year, certain number of placements per year, or you just know what you're doing, you know your market really, really well. If there are ways to help, 100%. I would do whatever I can to help. If I can't help and I know someone else that might help, I'll happily introduce you. We are all in this together. Recruiting is a massive industry globally, not just here in the US, and there are so many other ways that we can help each other. And I will do whatever I can to reach out and respond, even though my time is super limited and my schedule is jam-packed. So I really hope that this helps and can provide with you some sort of actionable tips that you can use right now to crush this year. Hang in there, keep your head in the game, stay focused, stay consistent. It's not gonna be like this forever, and can't wait to hear of all your success. Let me know down below, and we'll see you on the next one.